All right, today we're going to dive into a really fascinating book, The Internet of Money by Andreas Antonopoulos. And we're going to explore an idea that honestly just completely reframes what Bitcoin is. See, it's not just about digital cash, it's a whole new way of thinking about how value itself moves around the world.
And this quote right here, it's really the key to the whole book. Saying Bitcoin is digital money is like saying the internet is a fancy telephone. Think about that for a second. It forces you to look past what seems obvious. I mean, sure, we think we have digital money, right? The numbers you see in your online bank account. But Antonopoulos makes a brilliant point. That's just putting a digital screen on top of a really old system. Bitcoin isn't just a new type of money, it's a completely new network, and money just happens to be the very first app running on it.
So that leads to the big question, right? If it's not just money, then what the heck is it? And this is really at the heart of the whole book. The thing is, there's no simple one-word answer. It's a technology, yeah. It's a currency, sure. And it's a network, all at the same time. And it's that powerful combination, that triple threat, that has the potential to totally reshape our entire financial world. Okay, so to really get our heads around Bitcoin, we first have to talk about a really simple, but profound difference in how networks are actually designed. This is the key to everything, to its real potential.
Okay, so check out this contrast. On one side, you've got smart networks. Think of the old phone system, or, well, our current banking system. All the intelligence is in the center, and if you want to innovate, you have to ask for permission. But on the other side, you've got dumb networks, like the internet, and like Bitcoin. Here, all the intelligence gets pushed out to the edges, to you, to me, to our devices. Innovation can happen anywhere without asking anyone for permission. And that, right there, is the secret sauce of disruption.
So what does this mean for Bitcoin? It means Bitcoin is a dumb network for money, and that's actually its greatest strength. It's just a simple, totally neutral protocol. I mean, think about it. Your bank, it cares who you are, where you're sending money, and it definitely wants to know why. The Bitcoin network, it doesn't care. It just moves the value. Its genius isn't in all the complicated things it does, it's in what it doesn't do. By staying simple, it creates this incredible, solid foundation for anyone, anywhere to build amazing things on top.
In this setup, this is what creates what Antonopoulos calls a festival of the commons. It's the exact opposite of the tragedy of the commons. Where everyone uses up a shared resource? Here, it's a party. Every single new application someone builds actually strengthens the entire network for everybody else. If some developer in, Argentina builds a cool new wallet feature, we all get to benefit. And this creates this blistering pace of innovation that closed permission systems, they just can't keep up.
So this kind of open, permissionless innovation, it leads to a pattern of disruption that we've actually seen over and over again throughout history. I know it might feel chaotic and totally new right now, but if you look back, there's a pretty clear path that these kinds of radical technologies always follow.
It always starts with ridicule. The first cars were mocked, right? They were called noisy, unreliable machines that were way worse than a good old horse. Why? Well, because they were being forced to operate in a world that was built for horses. The roads were dirt and mud. Of course they got stuck. And it's the exact same thing with Bitcoin today. It gets criticized for its early challenges because it's trying to exist in a financial world that just wasn't built for it.
And this initial awkwardness, this friction, it leads to this fascinating process that the book calls infrastructure inversion. It's the super powerful pattern we've seen with cars, with electricity, with the internet. It happens every time. Let's break down how it actually works. So, it pretty much always happens in three phases. First, the new tech has to use the old infrastructure. Cars driving on muddy horse roads, or the early internet having to run over old telephone lines. Then phase two, new infrastructure gets built specifically for the new technology. We build paved highways for cars, we lay fiber optic cables for the internet. And then, here's the crazy part, the third phase. The old technology becomes just an app on the new system. Horseback riding is a hobby now, and making a phone call is just one of a million apps you can run on the internet. So the argument here is that finance is going to follow the exact same path. Today, Bitcoin is driving on the muddy roads of the old banking system. But tomorrow, banking will just be an app running on Bitcoin.
Okay, so this is where it gets really, really interesting. This whole tech shift, why does it matter so much for actual people around the world? Because this is not just about disrupting Wall Street. It's way bigger than that.
Just look at this number for a second. 6.5 billion. That's how many people on this planet are either completely unbanked or seriously underbanked. We're talking about people who are just
locked out of the global economy. They're stuck in cash-only societies, without access to the most basic financial tools that you and I probably take for granted every single day.
And this is the real game changer. For those billions of people, a simple phone, not even a smartphone, a basic feature phone, could suddenly become their gateway to the entire global economy. See, Bitcoin isn't just about banking the unbanked. It's about unbanking all of us. It turns the very idea of a bank into just a simple piece of software. It lets anyone with even a basic internet connection have a global bank right there in their pocket. We're talking about true financial inclusion on a scale that humanity has never, ever seen before.
And here's a really concrete example of the impact. The global remittance market, that's basically people working abroad and sending money home to their families, is over $500 billion. And right now, traditional services skim like an average of 9% off the top in fees. That's insane. With Bitcoin, that predatory fee gets crushed. It becomes a flat fee of just a few cents. We are talking about putting billions and billions of dollars back into the pockets of the people who need it most.
But the impact here, it goes way beyond just money. This technology completely flips the script on surveillance. Right now, individuals are transparent. We're watched all the time, while powerful institutions get to operate behind closed doors. Bitcoin's public ledger opens the door to what's called surveillance. It's a French word that means watching from below. It's a world where the many can watch the powerful, creating transparency for big institutions, while, and this is key, preserving privacy for individuals.
All right, so let's bring this all home. If Bitcoin is so much more than just a currency, what does it ultimately become? This is where the vision gets really big and, honestly, a little mind-bending. So here's the final and maybe the most powerful idea in the whole book: programmable money. What if money wasn't just a static number in an account? What if it was a technology that you could actually program with rules and logic? Imagine, for a second, an inheritance that's programmed to only unlock when a child turns 18. Or a payment for a freelance project that automatically splits itself and pays 3 different team members the very second the client marks it as complete. That's programmable money. You're embedding the rules directly into the value itself, so you don't need a bank or a lawyer or some other middleman to enforce the agreement.
And when money becomes programmable like that, it stops being just a tool for accounting and becomes, well, it becomes a language for expressing value. Think about how the internet gave us a platform for creativity with information and communication. Well, programmable money does the same thing for value. It creates a brand new platform for financial creativity, and it's going to unlock applications and ideas that right now we can't even begin to imagine.
And that really leaves us with this final, very provocative question. If money truly becomes a language, what are we, as a global community, going to choose to say with it? Bitcoin provides the protocol, the basic grammar for this new economic language. But the story of what we build, of what we say, that's just getting started. For those who want to learn more, the link to get the book is available in the video description. If you found this content interesting, please subscribe to the channel and like it to help us reach as many people as possible. Thank you.